Good morning, YouTube. And this is the first of a daily message process I'm going to begin this week. Master Buddha came through to me this morning and he was talking to me about how to get detached from the things around us that upset us, the people, the sounds, the noises. What is it we need to do to release ourselves from our attachment to these things? For it is our attachment to that repeating noise or that tone of voice that person's using. It's our attachment to what meaning we try to assign to events and circumstances that creates the upset we're actually experiencing. The person in and of themselves can be yelling and screaming. That's their pain, their anger, their frustration, their upset. What many people tend to do is draw themselves into that and become aligned to that feeling, that vibration, that energy of that individual. But what one must learn to do is to step back from the judgment that one holds about an event or circumstances, a noise, and be mindful of the meaning that you choose to apply to it. You can easily take all of the sounds and disturbances and the things in your life that disturb you, you can easily put them out before you and view them from the perspective of non-attachment, to recognize that they are not who you are. It is only from the place of internal quiet, internal stillness, that you are able to liberate yourself from those very things. When you see them and feel them no longer as a direct influence upon how you are being, and your state of being is that of peace, of stillness, of quiet, then you will not attract the disturbances from the world around you. They will cease to function. They will for a while be persistent, but as you continue to remain in this place of non-attachment, in this place of stillness, in this place of quiet within yourself as just the observer of that which you observe, then you will begin to liberate yourself from those events from occurring and reoccurring. From this place of stillness, from this place of observation, you can then begin to formulate your own internalized perceptions of what you wish your reality to be experienced as. If it is peace, then you will experience more peace. If it is joy, you'll experience more joy. But to get attached internally to those conditions of emotion that you wish to see represented in your material world is the creative process, the ability to create condition and circumstance rather than being subjective to them. It is the way that all things work in the human creative process. But it is through your non-attachment that you disengage from those things that have already been established by you and your personal agreement to them that things can bother you. And it is through your decision to become unattached to the judgment of those things that will begin to liberate you from them. This will take a period of time as you begin to recognize the sound of the fire engine does not disturb me. It's just the sound of a fire engine. I'm at peace. Or the sound of the drill down the street is just the sound of the drill. Or that person and the way they're talking to that other person is just the way they're talking to that other person. It's not about me. The way that person is looking at me doesn't mean anything. They're just looking at me from their perspective. I don't assign a meaning to that. As you begin to consistently and repeatedly repose yourself in observation in this fashion, things will begin to bother you less and less, and you'll return to that place that is your natural state of silence and quiet and peace, but with full mindfulness of all those things, the sounds of the cars and the sounds of the trucks and the sounds of the people and the birds and the animals. You'll be aware of all those things more so, but you will not be caught up in the judgment or interpretation of assigned meanings to those things, events, circumstances. From that perspective, true liberation begins. The path then to enlightenment is one of stillness and creation. Stillness first, creation second. These will be the beginning of many messages that we'll be bringing through. Master Buddha, thank you. As we go more and more into who we truly are as a species, like we are a species of creating beings, living in physical forms, that we are not subjective to the conditions of those forms. We can be aware of the conditions of the forms, but it is our emotional state that maintains or releases certain conditions from our life. And as you begin to get emotionally liberated from your thinking as you begin to get emotionally liberated from your judgments, you'll start to, as Buddha says, find that still quiet place inside yourself where you get to see the beauty of what is without judgment. You get to see that that person yelling down the street isn't yelling because they're being mean. They're yelling because inside there's a deep hurt. Or that person that goes out and shoots a bunch of people isn't shooting a bunch of people because they're evil or bad. They've done it because there's great pain for which they have no outlet for, and it just explodes. And until we get into our educational systems a process in place where we're teaching children that thought is not something that just happens, it's something we can choose or not choose, that emotion is the substance, the primary stuff that we put onto what our experiences are that make our experience perpetuate themselves. An example for me was when I was abused as a child by a stepfather who had a beard, and whenever I noticed men with beards for quite some time, from age around 12 to around age 30, I always felt uneasy inside. And it was because of the emotional attachment that I had to the experience, the judgment I had about that experience. I carried it with me. And so whenever men with beards came around, it reminded me of my own judgment. It wasn't about the men with the beards. It was my own judgment. And many of the things in our lives are not based on what's happening out there, but they're based on what's happening in here. And what's happening here mentally and emotionally is causing certain behaviors, activities that actually generate the experiences that those emotions represent. You know, things like depression and anger and frustration are good examples of where we hold attachment to certain past experiences and memories that perpetuates that anger, that pain, that depression, that suffering. And as we learn to release our connection to those past memories, to those past emotions, and return to who you truly are, because who we truly are is this, we are these beings of infinite power, of incredible goodness and joy. All of us, innately, naturally, were born into the place of stillness. Thank you. And what Buddha says is when you return to the place of the Buddha, the place of your birth, from there you can then begin to be of service to yourself and to humanity. There you will begin to find what gives you great meaning, what gives you great joy, what gives you great excitement to be and do. Anyway, I'm looking forward to being able to do these on a daily basis. They'll be short, to the point, and I wish everybody much love. Please, if you like the video, subscribe to my channel, share the video, give it a thumbs up. Please leave your questions, your comments. I'll be happy to address them. If you want to know more about what I do, how I help other people, you can go to my website, williammichaelforbescoaching.com, or you can go to my new website, which is williammichaelforbes.com. Either one, you'll get to understand a little bit more about who I am and what I do and why. Anyway, I want everybody to have a wonderful and a joyful day. Much love. Namaste. God be with you. Peace be with you. Whatever it is that your mind resonates with that brings you to that state of grace, may that be part of your day today. Much love. Bye for now.